Dr. Thorat, for sparing your time for this interview with us.
Thank you so much for such a beautiful words in my introduction. Thank you so much, Bhushan.
It's our pleasure.
And
Absolutely.
it's my privilege that you people honored. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. So we are, of course, going to discuss a lot of things, connected to the career scaling gap in the industry, what's going on. But before we get on to that journey, we'd like to understand about Dr. Thorat a little more, about your professional journey, right?
Yeah.
So can you share some insights into your, educational background and how it has influenced your career path, particularly your transition into the role of training and placement officer? So whatever happened before you became the TPO, we'd just like to get an understanding of who you are.
Yeah, definitely. Even I would like to love to share my journey. Actually, Roshan, I started with a traditional background of science. So I'm a science graduate basically, where I have expertise in my statistics, mathematics, and computer science.
Okay.
Then later on, I realized that I have more interest towards the management skills. I like to, in my entire education also, I was more inclined towards the management part, like managing the events in the college and universities. So I later on moved for in my MBA.
Okay.
So I pursued the master's in business administration with a specialization of human resource and marketing management, in which human resource was my major. So there I have worked more on the human resource projects, wherein the recruitment part was there. This was just an initial keywords in my life, wherein I came across the terms like employability, what skills are. And that time I was even at a raw stage. Human resource as my major in my master's degree, and I qualified my master's. Then I went to an industry. So I worked in an industry. I served their industry for 5 to 6 years, wherein I was working in a backend, but more it was towards the recruitment oriented profile. Then I realized that human resource also needs some legal background, or legal terminologies are more in this human resource uh, fraternity. So I went for a LLB. I completed my LLB from professional university. So even you can say that I am a certified lawyer as well. And then I realized that whatever the education I have taken, whatever the certifications I have done through my education, they helped me a lot uh, throughout my initial days of my career as a training and placement officer. So I suggest that whatever this feedback and interaction I received from students, I am able to understand them. I'm able to culminate them. I'm able to decode it for the industry people. So this was all my uh, educational journey, you can say, and this is how I started my career as a training and placement officer. And one more thing I would like to add, and later on, I also pursued my PhD.
Interesting.
And I would be glad to share that I am the only person in this entire TPO fraternity, or you can say I am one among the person in this TPO fraternity, wherein I have completely researched on employability in my PhD. Means my topic was the study of employers' expectations of employability skills from the fresh graduates.
Okay.
So this was my PhD, and this is how altogether I landed to the this profile of training and placement officer. And I hope I am doing the justice with this profile.
I'm sure. I'm sure you have been doing that, and it's evident from the number of years you've put in behind this role.
Yeah, exactly.
True. Now, with your diverse experiences in both education and industry, how do you integrate your knowledge and skills to enhance training and placement activities at your institute, Ram Meghe College of Engineering and Management?
Yeah. As Roshan, I have said, I have been into this HR fraternity since last 15 to 16 years.
Okay.
So this experience definitely helps me to get the first-hand inputs from the industry and make it available for my students. Wherein whatever the curriculum which and the trends which are I primarily focus that whatever the trends which are going in the industry should be aligned with my career.
Okay.
Because most of the time it happens the students are learning something different, but the industry is expecting completely different from them.
True.
The entire different expectations are there from industry. So I usually try to align. I Most of the time I like to prioritize the skill development programs for my students,
Okay.
because being a part of industry, I personally know what is the importance of developing the skills at this early age. So I always focus that students should prioritize their skill development. Then I always have this significant, because I have developed, even many colleges still they don't have their dedicated placement cell.
Right.
I personally feel that I have convinced my management, I have convinced my entire team that what is the significance of a dedicated placement cell. Because if you don't have a placement cell, definitely the things will be kept secondary. So this all came out of my experience, and this is how I'm getting benefited for the students. And even I also understand how to nurture the partnership with the industry.
Okay.
Because unless and until you are not getting associated with the industry, definitely it is very difficult for you to survive in a market. So
Right.
these are all this all diversity I could get from my experience. I could get from my whatever the exposure I have gone through during my education. So this is how the things, prioritizing the skill development program, getting associated with the industries, getting industry partnerships, and the importance of placement cell, dedicated placement. This is how I have been beneficial for placement activities in my college.
True, true. Well, that's really amazing to hear, Dr. Thorat. So, while people such as yourself, you all do not leave any stone unturned when it comes to helping students from a 360 perspective. What we'd also like to
Definitely.
know, and a little deviation from this question, is how is the student side of things? How do they come back with the kind of facilities or the convenience that you give them towards upskilling them, towards giving them the right platform? What are the students' reactions to your efforts?
Definitely, if this is a very good question, because the very first thing, this is the obvious reaction of students, that they are not aware. Due to this unawareness, most of the time, it happens that student reports, because already students are very much occupied with their curriculums. They are occupied with their personal crimes and all. Students don't get realize this, what the college is trying to do. But once they are get convinced, because this is how wherein the role of I guess TPO comes in, that as a training and placement officer you have to be a counselor as well, because whatever you are serving to the students, first you have to convince them.
Correct.
So once the student gets convinced, and when he starts availing the benefit of that particular, whatever the activities or policies we are implementing on that, and they start getting the results of it. And when they gets the result, when they start getting the fruits out of it, and then that reaction, I would say, that is very worth it. Because not the reaction of student, but also the reaction of parents, which we get
True.
after implementing this activity. Because these all are long-term activities, because short-term gains cannot be observed in this such activities. So long-term gains, when they people start getting, and when the family start getting the fruits out of it, so definitely the reactions are very amazed. We get an energy out of those reactions, and yes,
Right.
positivity is created.
True. A very important point actually mentioned by you, because parents usually have their control over their children till they are till 10th, in the 10th standard, and post that
Exactly.
the involvement
Yes, yes,
drastically reduces. So I'm sure when you get positive feedback from
exactly.
parents, it's a great achievement for you itself.
Yes. Yeah. We always try to involve parents in this entire process.
Right, absolutely. Now, Dr. Thorat, you've already put in so many practices in place in your institute. Can you talk to us about some significant
Yes.
milestones that you've achieved, and you're most proud of?
Yes, I could say the significant milestone. There are many significant, basically. So, the very first milestone, I could say that I am the youngest training and placement officer in my region, who
Okay.
has taken this charge maybe long in 2010. So that was itself a kind of a milestone for me, because when I entered into this area, When I entered into this arena, I was the junior most.
Right.
Now now the condition is that I am the longest serving placement officer in my region. So that is one of the great milestones for me because I have gone through all the ups and downs. I have seen the recession, I have seen the boom in placement, I have seen the COVID period, I have seen the this pandemic, I have seen all those kind of things. But still, I sustained, and that was one of the milestones.
True.
At the same time, since I have been into this, I have placed around on and around, I could say, 10,000 students across all the domains. I have placed this from engineering, from management, from graduates, from plain Bachelor of Arts, this pharmacy, with all those things I have placed. So I do run a community apart from this my regular placement of engineering, wherein I'm able to serve all the unemployed students of my region. That is one of the milestones I could say. And I started when I started the placement in long back 2010. I could have offer or I could have served the package of maybe 2 to 3 lakh for my students in the initial days. But now I I can proudly say that my students are getting a package of 10 plus and 15 plus lakh per year. So this is the greatest milestone I have been achieving, and this is all because of my students. So this could be my milestone which I
Absolutely.
have achieved, and many more too. There are many more
Right. And I
on the
think
way.
getting those kind of packages are really commendable, which also means the kind of quality
Yes, yes,
of students that are coming out who demand and deserve that kind of packages. So I think all kudos and
yes, yes, exactly.
thank you for you putting in your effort to do the right things. And
Thank you, thank you.
right, and especially so I've personally never been to Amravati, but
Okay.
given the business landscape or the corporate presence landscape, what is that like for you in Amravati?
Actually, it comes in tier three city, Amravati,
Absolutely.
basically.
Right.
So you can understand because the nearest airport to us is 150 kilometers away.
Wow. That's really far.
So that is the biggest challenge you could understand. And this is a tier three city. Means we don't have a IT hubs here. We don't have a software industry basically here because what is the main bulk recruiter for software industry for this engineering or professional education is software industry. So basically we don't have this software industry.
Right.
So we are completely based or dependent on the cities like Pune and Mumbai and Bengaluru for our placement.
Right.
So corporate exposure in this region, I would say, is almost very less or negligible. We have to take much more effort than those people who are sitting in Mumbai and Pune. So this is how it is a challenge for us
True.
in such a situation to get this package.
Right. And I think in spite of all these challenges that you face, you've still been able to manage, packages of 10 lakhs. I think that just signifies,
Yes, exactly.
the importance and the kind of work that you're doing. So I think we as a community are truly thankful to you for putting in the kind of work that you
Yeah,
do.
yeah. And I always like to thank to my students for believing in us and for trusting in us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Thorat, for sharing about the professional journey that you've personally been through and the kind of work that you've been putting in the scheme of things and helping the community at large, helping people get jobs. I think that's the biggest effort or work that a person can put into. Thank you so much for sharing about your professional journey.
Thank you. My pleasure.